Hi there, I'm Erica from Boulevard Market, and tonight I've kind of missed everyone and doing some little cooking demos. Like everybody, life gets away from you, and sometimes you put aside the things that you like to do because you have so many things that you have to do. So tonight I thought we should make some baked eggs. I don't know if you're familiar with this recipe. It's certainly, there's tons of baked egg recipes out there. This one is by far my favorite. It's French, and so I always appreciate French cooking. And so I thought I would share it with you. Not to mention my neighbor has some, so he's really amazing about sharing some eggs with us, and so I really need to have another opportunity to use them. So what you're going to need for your recipe is some ramekins that have been buttered. You could totally use and this is just, yes, I live in the sticks without great internet, so sorry about that. Okay, so I like these little ramekins. I collected them because cheese came in them, but these are also really nice too, and they're a little bit more, I think, traditional for these baked eggs. So we're going to do this very simply. You crack an egg in each ramekin that's been buttered. I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees. To be using some heavy cream. I always have heavy cream hanging around at this point for different soups or whatever I'm making during the winter time. I did another egg dish, some creme brulee, for Thanksgiving, so we needed that. So we're cracking. I'm sorry, my internet's bad. And then on top of each one, we're going to add a tablespoon of heavy cream. You can just drizzle it right on top. There's no anything special. You just pop it in there. I ran outside and picked some of the last of the saddest chives. So we're going to top ours tonight with a little bit of grated Gruyere. You could use Comté, Jarlsberg, whatever. Not too much. Let me see if I can show you how much I put on. This isn't meant to be a super cheesy dish. The Gruyere is really meant to just enhance it. So let me put it on and I'll give you an idea. I always just have a bit, 3 or 4 little bits. Yikes, I'm sorry. So here's what they're looking like. If you can see them. I know, don't you love cell phones? They're so handy and yet they're so tacky too. Okay, so I've got some chives. I'm going to top each one with some chives and also some freshly ground black pepper. I do not put salt in mine before baking just because sometimes the cheese is a little bit saltier and you're not really, you just don't want them to be too salty. To lose you again, this is what they should look like as they're going in the oven. Very simple, very easy. We're going to put them into a larger dish, a larger baking dish, and we're going to fill that dish up so that water goes halfway. Can I just suggest the best option is always to put your ramekins in first and then use a measuring cup to pour your water in so you get exactly the right amount, right? You don't want your egg dishes to be flooded. You don't want any water in there. So I'm going to pour in enough water in this dish for it to go about halfway up my ramekins. So I've done 4 in here. These are always the best the day that you bake, to eat them fresh. If you have to, you can refrigerate them, and I have found that they're really nice. I put them into the refrigerator covered, and then I will warm them up under the broiler. They only take a few minutes under the broiler, and then your egg doesn't get tough. So we're gonna bake these for, my eggs are room temperature because they've not been refrigerated. So I'm only gonna put mine in for about 13 minutes. If you're using cold refrigerated eggs, you're probably gonna be closer to 15, but you can just check. You want the you still want the egg yolk to be a bit runny. So when you're testing them, they should just have just solidified, not be runny, right? You don't want to see anything runny on top so long that they've become hard boiled. Or maybe you do. Maybe you prefer them that way. The cream does keep them nice and soft, so it's not a terrible thing to overcook them a bit. So super simple. 1 egg, 1 tablespoon, a few little bits of herbs, and some fresh ground pepper. They go into a 375 oven for anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes for a single egg. So I will be, oh, and sorry, a little Gruyere cheese or cheese of preference, but I'm partial to the Gruyere. I'm also partial to fresh goat cheese. That is really, really outstanding with it. So I hope that you stay warm, and maybe you've got a glass of wine tonight, and you know, this might inspire you to